Yo, what's good everyone? Today I'm going to be breaking down some of my favorite cash game plays for this Week 10 NFL DraftKings main slate. Let's dive right into it. And like I always do here in these videos, I'm going to give you a high-level overview of my cheat sheet, breaking down some of my favorite cash game plays here for this Week 10 NFL DraftKings main slate. But as always, everyone, want to remind you and highly recommend joining my free Discord channel. You can see that mentioned above. We now have over 830 people on that Discord channel talking multiple different sports for DFS, but primarily NFL and NHL DFS, as well as some of their favorite sports bets. So if you want to join that, there's a link to do so in the description below, as well as in the pinned comment below. With that being said, let's dive into the cheat sheet here. We're going to kick it off at the quarterback position. I've kind of broken the quarterbacks into 3 different tiers this week, and I am truly okay playing any one of these guys in my cash game lineup. If we're looking to spend up here this week, it's Jalen Hurts for me. I know Josh Allen looks good too, but I really like the way that Jalen Hurts has played coming out of the bye for the Philadelphia Eagles, and a really good spot for him to expand on that this week against a really bad Dallas Cowboys defense. Plus, you got the divisional game there too, so it's a highly important game. But the rushing attempts have been there for Hurts coming out of the bye, and he's been throwing the ball well. Just such a safe floor and high ceiling. He's my preferred play if we want to spend up at the quarterback position. But look, I really love Brock Purdy this week as well, coming out of the bye, going into Tampa this week against a bad defense there. That secondary just isn't very good. Plus, you get Christian McCaffrey back. That's just going to open up that offense overall. And I like this price here at $6,500. You all know I'm shooting for 3x value. My cash lineup are 150 DraftKings points, so that means we need 19.5 DraftKings points out of Purdy, and I do think he gets there against that secondary for the Buccaneers. And then if we want to spend down here this week, I do believe that Justin Herbert is too cheap at $5,200. DraftKings is basically pricing him like they did before the bye for the Chargers. It's kind of a theme here with the quarterbacks this week. What did they do before and after the bye? Well, with Justin Herbert here, if we look at his passing attempts the first few weeks, he had 26, 20, 18, and 27. Then they had their bye week. Coming out of that, he's had 34, 39, 32, and 27 attempts. Just a completely different offense coming out of the bye. So like I said, $5,200 here is too cheap. And then if you want to go down to the honorable mentions here, I do prefer Purdy in the 6K range, but if you need that $300 in savings, don't want to go down to Justin Herbert, don't maybe like that environment against the Tennessee Titans, I think Darnold is fine here at this price, could easily get us 18 DraftKings points in this matchup against Jacksonville, who statistically speaking have the worst secondary in the NFL, and Darnold's been really solid this year, kind of bringing that safe floor. He's got some sneaky rushing upside as well. Like I said, really prefer Purdy in the 6K range, but if you need a little savings there and want to go down to Darnold, I have no problem with that. Now, moving on to the running backs here, and there's a handful of different builds that I've done with my cash lineup so far this week. You know, just like it's been a few weeks that we've seen this now. The 6K range is offering some nice value in my opinion. So, if you wanted to spend down for Aaron Jones, who's in a great spot against Jacksonville, DeAndre Swift at home here against the New England Patriots. Swift has seen some nice volume as of late, not only in the rushing game, but also the passing game. I think both those guys are in play there at their price. I also think James Conner is a solid play at $6,500, again, chasing that volume in our cash lineup. So, if you wanted to go with those 3 running backs right there, again, I think that's a safe play, guys who are in really good spots this week, getting a lot of volume. But as I sit here right now, the cash game build that I have Barkley and Kamara in there. So I had to spend down at the quarterback position. I would like to get up to Purdy or maybe even Hurt, so I might pivot off of one of these 2 guys. But again, as I sit here today, I got both Barkley and Kamara in my cash lineups. Barkley, smash spot here against the Dallas Cowboys. He has truly been terrific on this Eagles offense. And Kamara, look, we're going to have no Chris Olave this week. This guy touched the ball 35 times last week. I don't think he'll get 35 opportunities again this week, but 25 plus. I think that's definitely a possibility, and we know what he can do in the passing game. That's huge in PPR formats like DraftKings. So there's a lot of great running back plays here this week. I even got Bijan as an honorable mention. He's been really solid, bringing that safe floor as of late, but my preferred plays here are Barkley and Kamara. I'll probably squeeze in one of these 6K guys as well, but again, running back position overall for cash games this week, we got a lot of options and some really good spots. Now, folks, before we dive into the wide receiver plays here, if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. Every like, comment, and sub on this channel, everyone, truly does help me out. So if you guys can help me out there, if you can help grow this channel, that means I'm going to be able to create more content for you in the future. So again, if you haven't subbed yet today, I would really appreciate that. All right, now diving into these wide receivers here, and I really prefer to spend up at the running back position when it comes to my cash lineup, but I do keep looking at this matchup for Jefferson and going, he's locked into 20 DraftKings points, right? That secondary is so bad for Jacksonville. He should be able to eat them up play after play. But it also gets to the point here where it's like, okay, we're looking at this price at basically $9,000, right? I'm shooting for 3x value. That's 27 DraftKings points. And again, I would not be shocked if he gets us there this week. Hell, if he gets us 35 DraftKings points, I wouldn't be surprised about that either. As I sit here on Friday morning and record this, I prefer to spend up at the running back position, but I wouldn't be surprised come Sunday morning. Again, that's why you got to join the Discord channel. I'll talk about these things. If I pivoted off from Barkley to Jefferson or Kamara to Jefferson, it's definitely in the realm of possibilities. One guy at the wide receiver position who's probably locked into my cash lineup this week is Josh Downs. With Joe Flacco starting once again, he is the guy right now. Plus, I just got an alert Michael Pittman is not going to be playing here this Sunday. And in every game that Flacco started, Downs has seen at least 9 targets. So I like going back to him here at $6,200. D-Hop was awesome last week with the Kansas City Chiefs, really kind of his breakout game there, and I just think he's going to get more involved in this offense going forward. My one concern here is Pat Surtain, the cornerback of the Denver Broncos, one of, if not the best cornerback in the NFL right now. But then again, I look at this price here, $5,300, look at this offense for the Chiefs and go, they're probably going to find ways to get him the ball. And then Noah Brown there, if you're looking for a cheaper option, he's seen 6 targets in back-to-back games, now seen 6 targets in 3 of his last 4 games. I think there's some sneaky shootout potential in that game with Washington as well. But overall, really just a value play here at $4,300 if you want to go that route. I also got Cortland Sutton there at $5,600. He's now seen double-digit targets in back-to-back games. Tough matchup there going into Kansas City, though. And then Parker Washington, whether or not Gabe Davis plays, I think Washington here is going to be in play. If Davis does play, we're likely going to see Washington move more into the slot. And honestly, I don't mind that against this Vikings defense. If Davis does not suit up here on Sunday, that means Washington will be outside more, but should also see a little bit more volume go his way. So at $3,900, just like Noah Brown, kind of a punt value play if you need to save some money. And then I got a few tight ends that I like for cash games here this week. Now, for those of you who have been watching my cash game videos over the years, you know that I generally do not spend up at this position when it comes to my cash game lineup. More of a tournament move in my opinion. But Cade Otton of the Buccaneers has now seen 31 targets in his last 3 games and double-digit targets in every single one of those games. With Mike Evans out again here this Sunday, I'd be surprised if he doesn't see 8+ again. Clearly the number 1 pass catcher in this offense right now in a game environment where they're likely trailing for most, if not the entire game, against the 49ers, playing catch-up. So I do think he's in play at $5,500. If we need to save some money, though, I like Hunter Henry here, the Patriots, who has truly been great with Drake May under center. If you really need to save some money, though, I think it's Will Dissly. Now, he burnt me last week, but if we look at the volume as of late here, it's been really good for a guy priced this low. So $3,100, he was kind of the punt play in my opinion. I do think Travis Kelce's in play, just like Cade Otton. The volume has truly been there as of late, making him a cash game consideration at this price. He could easily get 18 DraftKings points or hit 3x value against this Broncos defense. And then Taysom Hill's in an interesting spot here. No Chris Olave this week. I think Alvin Kamara is going to see a lot of volume himself, but I wouldn't be shocked if Taysom Hill has 4 or 5 targets in this game, 4 or 5 rushing attempts, and gets us 10 to 12 DraftKings points. And that's really what we need at that price. I'm not really a Taysom Hill guy, but he did stick out to me considering the situation for the Saints right now. And then wrapping up the plays here with some defenses. And just like the tight ends, I notoriously do not spend up at the defense position when it comes to my cash game lineup. But if you have the money laying around and want to spend up for the Vikings this week, they're in such a good spot here against Jacksonville, who's going to be starting Mac Jones at the quarterback position. If I'm looking to spend down, and I guess I wouldn't consider this a true spend down down option, but the Bears do look nice here at home facing the Patriots and a rookie quarterback in Drake May. Nice price there at $3,000. If I do need to save some money, the Broncos look okay here at $2,400. No, I don't love paying for a defense that's going into Kansas City, but this Broncos defense does have some playmakers, and again, we essentially be punting at this price. Alright everyone, that is going to wrap up this video here for today. As always, thank y'all for taking the time out of your day to watch the content here on this channel. If you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. Let's have ourselves a great weekend here, folks, and let's win some money on this Week 10 main slate.